Clerk, if you would please call the roll.
Vice Chair Bill Donnell,
Here.
Alderman John Lash,
Present.
Alderman Ted Miziakos,
Present.
Alderwoman Wani Garza,
Here.
4 present.
Very good. Our first item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes. It's item 23-0426.
So moved to approve.
Second.
Moved by Wani Garza, second by Ted Misiakos. Any questions on the motion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved. Clerk, our next item is public comment. Do we have anybody wishing to make public comment?
Yes, we do.
Please read the introduction.
Pursuant to the Open Meetings Act, all persons shall be permitted an opportunity to address public officials under the rules established and recorded by the council. Under our rules, any person may address the Public Health, Safety, and Transportation Committee for up to 3 minutes, with a maximum of 30 minutes allotted for all public comment. No person other than the timekeeper or the chair, for the purpose of maintaining order, may interrupt the person recognized for public comment during his or her comments. Members of the Public Health, Safety, and Transportation Committee shall not engage with nor respond to a speaker during the time set aside for public comment. Staff is directed to follow up with members of the public with respect to any concerns raised during public comment within the scope of the city's authority following the adjournment of this meeting.
Thank you. Would you please call our first speaker?
Samantha Bamberger?
Good afternoon, Samantha. You have 3 minutes starting now.
Okay. Samantha Bamberger. I am a resident here in Aurora with my 2 lovely little children and my husband. I live in Ward 7 by the lovely triangle that's kind of made by like Eola, Montgomery, and Ogden. And so I was coming in today to kind of specifically address a few things that came up during the safety meeting that was held on May 24th. Eola, especially the corridor between like Montgomery, Ogden, and then up to New York Street, is just increasingly unsafe. And so I just wanted to come in and make some sort of call to action to have a better look at that section of road. The first thing I wanted to ask about was kind of trying to set aside the driver-first mindset that keeps occurring along that corridor. There are 2 public schools, as well as a number of businesses that a number of people would like to go to. I live 2 blocks from a Starbucks, and I have to drive there. It's kind of ridiculous. When I would love to take my bike, walk my kids. There's the bagel shop my daughter loves to go to. 3 years old, and I can't walk her. It's not safe at all to go in that area. So there are many other reasons people may want to walk or take their bike. There's people who are lower income. Even driving through here today, I go through lower income neighborhoods. They don't have a sidewalk. I don't know how those kids are getting to school. I don't know how someone's living 3 houses down from a hairdresser. You want someone to load their kids into a car. If you guys have seen car seats the past 10 years, load them in, get them over, get them back. Like, there's a lot of different reasons in which we could be kind of taking more of a pedestrian cycling mindset when looking at transportation specifically. There's also kids, you know, if you're not 16, you're not driving somewhere. And that whole corridor, if anyone ever just sits there, will see kids jaywalking. The police know about it. They don't do anything, thank goodness, because that would just cause more mass chaos. The schools actually have to adjust their absentee rules because of the way that intersection is set up. So a lot of parents end up having to, like, in the middle of the road, when a certain time hits, they open the doors and kick the kids out, and they have to cross Ogden like that. And it's just chaos, both in the morning and the afternoon. I ended up reaching out to the state, like to IDOT, just to kind of inquire about what is it that we could be empowered to do as a local community. And they did inform me that just because it's a state highway doesn't mean that we can't feel empowered to do something, that we can write our own suggestions, come up with our own plan, and they can actually help find funding for it. So that was encouraging, that just because it's highway and the intersection of local community, that something could be done. So yeah, I just wanted to say that, you know, we've had a few deaths along that corridor. People don't feel safe letting their kids walk to school. I watch people who tell their kids they have to cross over a retaining wall that's 4 feet over a pond because that's safer to maybe fall in and get attacked by a goose who lives there. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
We have no more speakers.
All right, thank you, Clerk. We have one item on our agenda today. It's item 23-0488, resolution repealing R01-173, authorizing the execution of an emergency warning signing activation agreement between the City of Aurora and the Village of Montgomery. So can we have a brief presentation on this item?
So I have no formal PowerPoint, just conversation today.
Fine.
So as you noticed, I did attach the previous resolution to the agenda item. This was a resolution that it was enacted in April of 2001. The corporate knowledge that would have put this through is not here anymore. We can't find any paperwork. The reason we're asking to remove ourselves, the City of Aurora, from the Village of Montgomery, specifically us with the authority and responsibility to set off sirens for Montgomery, is from March 31st. So the swath of storms that came in right at the beginning of the season this year, that caused a lot of issues in terms of how the sirens were activated, who did it, who communicates with who. So the proactive Deputy Chief of Police over there, who is my emergency management point of contact for the Village of Montgomery, we had extensive conversations about this. He was just moved into the emergency management role this year. Him and I discussed this, and he felt that it was best that the Village of Montgomery does break away from putting that liability on the City of Aurora. So he was proactive. He went ahead and moved those sirens in Montgomery, moved the sounding switch over to their dispatch center in Kendall County. So they do have their own way to set them off. We're just taking this moment to finalize and recognize that this was a past agreement. We've since moved forward and found other solutions that will benefit for both the village and the city.
Can you please state your name and
I'm
title?
sorry, ma'am. Natalie Wiza. And do you want my item number? Is that what you want? Oh, okay.
Just your title.
All right. EMA coordinator. I don't do many of these.
Well, I appreciate in your report you talk about what might be good for Montgomery may not be good for some of our communities along 59, 10, 12 miles away. So that makes a lot of sense. And I'm happy to hear that Montgomery has the ability to control their own alarms. So, but I would ask, are there any other questions from the committee?
So moved to approve.
Moved by Alderman Garza, second by Alderman Lash. Questions of the motion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
All right. We are not in need of a closed session, so I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved by Alderman Garza, second by Alderman Misiakos. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.